Welcome back. Let's get those serum samples analyzed and see what we've got. Well, thank the Force for good Tarisian storage technology. I wasn't sure anything would still be viable after 3 centuries. While we wait, is there a cost to these samples I should be aware of? A deal with a pirate crew, perhaps?
No problems. I found some stashed away for a rainy century.
You make it sound so easy. Here we are. Fortunately, the plague is so virulent it cultures very rapidly. Bad news. The serum you recovered looks like it was effective 300 years ago, but the Raku plague has mutated since then. This serum will only provide effective immunity for extraordinarily healthy individuals.
No one's gonna take an unreliable vaccine.
Yes, but it gives us options. Right now, I need what we call a lucky survivor, whose system has antibodies to the modern plague. We haven't had a survivor yet, for obvious reasons, but this serum might provide the link we need. If I infected an extraordinary individual protected by the serum, I could collect the antibodies and make an effective vaccine.
If it means we can someday wipe those things from the planet, sign me up.
Well, and I had this whole speech ready. All right. We have a medical droid, CB-084, set up to observe Rakuls in the field. He'll be able to collect the antibodies and slow any potential complications. After I give you the serum, go out there and test it. Let the Rakuls attack you and see what happens.
Inject me, and let's get going.
Here you go. I hope the Force is with you, because the science is stretched to the limit.
I will always love that line.
Reminder, mechanized travel is for official business only. Ah, I see your infection is progressing. Hold still while I take samples for analysis. While I transmit the data to Dr. Cell, there are some questions I should ask. Do you have any of the following symptoms? Dizziness, fever, shortness of breath, and inexhaustible hunger for sentient flesh?
I could go for a Nerf burger. That doesn't count, right?
I will note it on your chart. Ah, here's Dr. Cell.
Good news. Your antibody count is off the charts. I'll start work on a vaccine immediately. You are remarkably brave. Our progress has just jumped forward by years. While you recuperate, I'm going to transmit the usual secrecy agreements. Just use your thumbprint to sign on the sensor.
I'm not signing anything until I know what it is.
Oh, no. This is perfectly normal. We developed the vaccine for Republic soldiers first, and when it's proven, sell it to colonists. Until then, it's under wraps. We don't want the Exchange or the Sith funding some horrible operation with an underground version.
I guess that makes sense.
Thanks for soldiering up. I'll see you get a donor fee, but I can't promise a cut of the profits. The amount of money we're talking about is staggering. I could make a career out of a vaccine like this. And you put yourself on the line to make it happen. I won't forget.
Up and at 'em.
Excuse me, Lieutenant. The Republic told me you might be able to help with a difficult situation. They say you are a most reliable operative on Taris. Have you heard anything about titroxinate being sold on the black market?
What's the story?
I'm sure you know the history. Titroxinate was the pre-patent name for the weaponized agent we think was responsible for the Rakghoul plague. The Empire could fashion it into a terrible weapon, turning our soldiers into monsters and setting them against us.
Where's the arms dealer who's selling this stuff?
I'm more worried about his source. Trace the original titroxinate samples to an old Chemworks factory. It's overrun with Nexu. We can't get near it. If you can retrieve any canisters that remain, the Republic will see you're well rewarded for your effort.
What do you think, Khan?
The foundation of the Taris Chemworks factory cannot be repaired. I expect total collapse within 2 weeks. Once the building falls, the stored chemicals will flood this area. They are highly toxic to humans. I am sorry.
I'll make sure there are speeders on hand, but we can't just pack up and go. Do what you can.
As always, I will pursue an alternative. Forgive me, officer. I am aware of your presence and duly respectful. However, I advise you not to stay long.
You were talking about evacuation. What's going on?
Many of these ruins are unstable. A nearby structure used for chemical storage is on the verge of crumbling. As I was explaining to my colleague, there is only one way to remove the chemicals before they spill. A burn-off. A well-armed demolitions team could reach the structure and incinerate the chemical stockpiles. I can provide the incendiaries. Unfortunately, no team is available.
I'd be happy to volunteer.
Your generosity is considerable. You should know, however, between the structural instability, the toxicity levels, and the incendiary chemicals, the mission— you are not a demolitions team, I fully recognize this.
Lieutenant, it's good to see a soldier of your reputation slumming with us out here in the wilds of Taris.
I'm not really here to chat. What's the situation?
We're having some trouble. Nothing you couldn't have predicted, but there you are. Our bases here are far from self-sufficient. We're not farmers, and there's no existing infrastructure here to work with. We're at the mercy of our supply ships. And this month just went nose down in some of the worst territory on Taris.
Where's the ship? I don't care if it's at the bottom of a swamp.
The Republic thanks you for your service. Our men tried to reach the ship once, but they turned back after taking serious casualties. They said it's more than just Rakghouls, but couldn't make an ID. If you still want to go, you'll need to talk to our quartermaster at the supply.
And you're just going to make this all better, huh?
Usually people are happy if I come to make things better.
I'm Karen Weck, Quartermaster. Commander Gardet just called to say you're retrieving our supplies. For which, by the way, I and the rest of the troops here humbly thank you. But I don't want Commander Fatpants to think it means he gets away with this. Embezzle the Republic's money to bring in dress blues from Alderaan. But don't worry, one of our top Special Forces guys will bail you out.
That's a serious accusation.
I said over and over that the ship needed repairs. The left stasis generator was loose, and the hyperdrive motivator was seeping fluid. But Gardet had already spent our allotted maintenance budget on himself.
If this is true, he's a blot on the Republic, and I'll bring him down.
These are good soldiers here. They deserve a better man to lead them. If you can take this holo camera out to the crash site, you could get the evidence I need to get him court-martialed.
You've won me over.
Thank you. If you take holopics of the engine, I can show that the documented lack of repairs is what caused the crash. The most important thing is the supplies, though. The crash site isn't...
kind of old chemical factory. Let's watch our step, huh?
Things.
Target neutralized. neutralized.